For our studio project, Transitions, we as students were asked to explore the transition spaces between indoor and outdoor, and to explore what defines these spaces. This includes exploring materials, temperatures, lighting, textures, sounds, ground plane, eye plane, and overhead plane, as well as other design considerations. Not only have we been asked to design a space for our project, we have the opportunity to build our design. The site of the public library was chosen by our instructor Stevie Familari, and the parameters of our design were approved by her, as well as the library director, Tim Dirks.
The way we came up with the concept was basically just brainstorming. Everyone sat down in a room together and basically just threw out ideas that we had, and everyone would elaborate on other people's ideas.
Working with the group was interesting. It was fun hearing everyone's ideas collaboratively, but it was pretty hard to pick and choose different ideas because some people weren't all on board and some people were going for one idea or another more than others, so it was good to bounce ideas off each other and take bits and pieces from everyone, but it was definitely a challenge to get to what we finally came up with.
The most rewarding part about working in a group of 9 people has been the wide range of personalities and the whole variance in ideas that people throw out there for initial concept, and then when people throw out their ideas, other people can work off of that, and in theory you come up with the best design possible.
With at least 7 different ideas. I'd like to say 7 different ideas, and they were all so different, but then also similar in different ways, where some would have water and then some would be completely out of the water scenario altogether, and I did not care for the water at all at first, and now that we have come into the project and we have been it has developed more. You get into it and you have your certain areas that you... Shut up! You have your certain areas that you just cling to and that you like more in the project.
The one that I liked a lot that we developed a little bit, then abandoned, was the idea of transforming and skewing people's perception on the site in a different way. Like, for example, taking things that you would normally see on the ground and placing them on the wall, taking things on the wall you would normally see and putting them on the ground, like, for example, grass on a wall, or picture frames that you would have to walk around on the floor or something like that.
With the number of people that we had in our group, working with 9 people alone was a good thing and a bad thing on different terms. It was good because it brought in a lot of different ideas and being able to talk with people and just branching off of each other. I mean, that was good for experience for everyone, being able to see things in different ways. But then, on the other hand, once you get into that main idea and you start working more about your design and getting details done, people start getting left behind and forgotten, and so it's difficult to keep up with everyone and to make sure everyone's on track.
Are explaining to me, bringing in the brick and like the graffiti wall and bringing plantings and all those sort of things. Like I really find that's interesting, and it brings a lot. And I think there are aspects of the other design that are really interesting. Can we still consider combining and taking a few of like the pros of each design and bringing them together for something really sweet?
Yeah.
Something to be careful of with that.
You were talking about
you start combining elements that were conceptually based at their core, and then you just start jamming them together. Turns into crazy.
The 2 groups were chosen for this project because they were in 2 separate sections, and with 19 students, 10 were in the first section and 9 were in the second. The subsections have an entirely different makeup. The subsections, everybody was put into 2 different subsections, and there was one that took a lot more work and one that took a lot less work. So everybody got a hard group and a lesser group, a lesser hard group. The chosen people in those were either because it was their strength, or in all honesty, it was because it was their weakness. And if they didn't learn to do it now, then they're not going to be given another chance for a while. So people who were not good at press got press. And the person that was very good at press got press. A person that needed to know how to manage their time got time management, along with somebody who really was quite good at it. It was balanced off between people who knew how to do it well and people who really needed to step up now or drop it.
So what we could do is overlay, this is a section, overlay a bunch of twigs to that flood height. And then within this like flood height level, we could maybe
Put different sources of media within.
yeah, maybe just what exists around the corridor, like
So you transitioned into the entryway area. We
this is
have
the first entry.
something projecting. Basically, it would go from a visceral understanding, a really tactile understanding, to in a library where you're learning things that you're not actually touching or seeing. You're learning only because of our culture, because of language. The concept of transitioning from a tactile environment to a cognitive environment is more the nuts of that idea.
It was definitely difficult trying to be in charge when I myself am a classmate, because before this project, and even still, I mean, people don't see you as a manager, they see you as a friend or someone to go to for help, and so it's tough to tell someone to do something when they, don't usually do that, and they usually look at someone higher up. So it's again that different level change and trying to make sure that they get their work done.
Let me get some. Yeah.
Like, even if, since you can't read that, even if you want to take like portions of it and just start scattering it around.
Yeah. Pretty sweet design, you guys.
Thanks, bro.